Welcome to PVT Express News. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. And now, here's today's content. In an age where attention spans are measured in seconds, it doesn't take much for a fleeting moment to ignite a tidal wave of public reaction. A glance, a gesture, a few frames of video, these can travel faster than truth itself. Recently, one such moment involving Tan Songyun swept across Chinese social media, stirring both emotion and debate in equal measure. At a film promotion event, something unexpected happened. As the spotlight lingered on the stage, Tan Songyun stepped down, not for dramatic effect, not as part of a scripted segment, but seemingly on impulse. She walked toward an audience member seated in a wheelchair. Then, instead of offering a distant greeting, she bent down, lower, until she was nearly kneeling. She aligned herself with their eye level and gently embraced them. It was a quiet act. No grand speech. No performance. Just a moment of human connection. And yet, that moment exploded online. Clips circulated rapidly. Comments poured in. Some viewers admitted they were moved to tears. Others described the gesture as pure, rare, and healing. In an industry often criticized for artificiality, this felt different, unpolished, sincere, and deeply personal. But not everyone was convinced. A moment of warmth or a story rewritten? As the video spread, so did questions. Where was the full footage? Was there an official source? Did she truly kneel, or was it just camera perspective? Skeptics pointed out that most of what people were reacting to came from short, edited clips or secondhand retellings. In today's digital ecosystem, narratives evolve quickly, sometimes too quickly. A simple interaction can be reshaped, embellished, and amplified until it becomes something else entirely. Yet, even among the doubts, there was no hostility, only caution. A reminder that in a world driven by emotion, clarity still matters. Interestingly, the discussion didn't stay confined to that single moment. It expanded. Because when people began debating whether the gesture was real, they inevitably asked a deeper question. What kind of person is Tan Songyun, really? The long road behind a simple gesture. Unlike many stars who skyrocket to fame overnight, Tan Songyun has built her career slowly, almost quietly. No sudden breakout fueled by controversy. No aggressive pursuit of headlines. No reliance on viral fame. Instead, her journey has been one of steady accumulation. She started with small roles, often overlooked, sometimes barely remembered. But with each performance, she refined her craft. There was no shortcut. Only time, patience, and discipline. Like the rings of a tree, her growth has been gradual but undeniable. In her earlier roles, she often portrayed youthful, emotionally delicate characters. These roles might seem simple, but they demand precision. Too much expression feels forced, too little feels empty. Her strength lay in finding the delicate balance where emotions feel real, not performed. As her career progressed, so did the complexity of her roles. Family dramas. Emotional conflicts. Characters caught between love, identity, and responsibility. Here, she shifted her approach. Instead of relying on visible expressions, she leaned into subtlety, eye movements, pauses, tone. The kind of acting that doesn't announce itself, but lingers in the audience's mind. Watching her performances, many viewers share the same impression. It doesn't feel like she's acting. It feels like she's living the role. The discipline behind healing energy. Over time, Tan Songyun has often been described as having a healing presence. But that quality isn't accidental. In an industry driven by exposure, she has chosen restraint. She doesn't frequently chase trending topics. She avoids unnecessary controversy. Her public appearances, whether interviews or variety shows, are measured, calm, and consistent. This doesn't generate immediate buzz. But it builds something far more valuable: trust. Audiences begin to feel that what they see is genuine. That her on-screen warmth isn't a constructed persona, but an extension of who she is. And this is why that viral moment, kneeling, embracing, resonated so deeply. Because for many, it didn't feel out of character. It felt expected. When silence speaks louder than words. Yet, perhaps the most revealing part of her story isn't that viral clip, but something far more personal. In a 2026 episode of Dear In, Tan Songyun shared, for the first time, an experience she had kept hidden for years. There was no dramatic build-up. No emotional manipulation. Just a quiet confession. She pointed to a scar on her upper lip. At first glance, it seemed minor. But the story behind it was anything but. She described an accident so severe that a piece of flesh had nearly detached. For anyone, it would be terrifying. For an actor whose face is their primary instrument, it was potentially career-altering. In that moment, she wasn't just facing pain. She was facing uncertainty. Would she recover? Would she look the same? Would she still be able to act? The journey that followed was grueling. Surgery was only the beginning. Recovery meant swelling, restricted movement, difficulty eating, basic functions suddenly becoming challenges. Beyond the physical pain was the psychological weight, fear, isolation, and helplessness. At one point, she couldn't even reassure her family herself, relying instead on her sister to communicate for her. And yet, during this period, something else was happening. Public speculation. Misunderstood, yet unexplained. At the time of her injury, Tan Songyun abruptly left a film set. With no official explanation, rumors filled the void. Some said she was being unprofessional. Others claimed emotional instability. Some even speculated about conflicts with co-stars. Among those drawn into the narrative was Sukai, as their overlapping projects fueled assumptions about behind-the-scenes tension. None of it was true. But the truth couldn't be told. To protect her privacy during recovery, she remains silent. And in the court of public opinion, silence is often mistaken for guilt. This was perhaps the most difficult part, not the injury itself, but the inability to defend herself. Still, she chose not to explain. Not because she couldn't, but because she understood something important. In the height of public scrutiny, explanations often don't clarify, they escalate. So she waited. Not for validation. Not for sympathy. But for time to do what it does best: reveal what matters, and erase what doesn't. Redefining strength in a noisy industry. Years later, when she finally spoke about the incident, there was no bitterness. No need to prove anything. Just a simple statement: she no longer cared. That quiet detachment revealed more strength than any defense ever could. In an era dominated by metrics, views, rankings, trending topics, success is often defined by visibility. But visibility is fleeting. Today's headline is tomorrow's forgotten story. What endures is something else entirely. Consistency. Authenticity. Time-tested trust. Tan Songyun's career stands as a quiet contradiction to the traffic-first logic of modern entertainment. She doesn't dominate headlines. She doesn't manufacture controversy. And yet, her work stays. Not loudly, but deeply. Her performances don't demand attention, they earn it. Slowly, steadily, and lastingly. Beyond the moment. So, was that viral moment real? Maybe. Maybe not. Perhaps the full truth will surface someday. Or perhaps it will fade, like so many internet stories before it. But in the end, that question might not be the most important one. Because a single moment, no matter how touching, cannot define a person. What defines someone is their pattern over time. Their choices when no one is watching. Their consistency when attention fades. And by that measure, Tan Songyun's story becomes much clearer. Not because of one embrace. Not because of one scar. But because of everything in between. In a world obsessed with instant judgment, perhaps the most honest approach is also the simplest. Don't rush to believe or to doubt. Just observe. Over time, the truth has a way of revealing itself. If this story made you think differently, you might ask yourself, what matters more, a powerful moment or a consistent life? The answer, like truth itself, rarely appears all at once. It unfolds quietly, patiently, over time. Please join the discussion. Feel free to leave comments. Welcome to my channel. Thank you all.